The indefinite integral of 4 dx. Since 4 is a whole number, you should always multiply it by x. So for x plus c. The indefinite integral of 2x plus 2x to the power of 3 dx. You should always add 1 to the power. So 2x to the power of 1 plus 1 over 2 plus 2x to the power of 3 plus 1 over the 4 plus c. So 2x to the power of 2 over 2 plus 2x to the power of 4 over 4 plus c. So the answer is x to the power of 2 plus 1 over 2 x to the power of 4 plus c. The indefinite integral of 1 over 3x to the power of 3 minus 5x dx. So we start with 1 over 3 x to the power of 3 plus 1 over 4 minus 5x 1 plus 1 to the power of 1 plus 1 over 2 plus c, which equals to 1 over 12x to the power of 4 minus 5 over 2x to the power of 2 plus c. And that's the final answer.
Evaluate the indefinite integral. The indefinite integral of 2x plus 2x to the power of negative 3 minus 6x to the power of negative 4 dx. The first step is using the power rule of integration. Now the power rule of integration informs us that we have to add 1 to the existing power and then dividing the whole thing with the new power. So in our case, the new power will be 2, since 1 plus 1 is 2. Repeat the same step with 2x to the power of negative 3. And you'll be left with negative 2, and then again with negative 6. You'll be left with negative 3, then plus c. So 2 over 2 is just 1, and we can write that as x, so x squared, minus 2 over negative 2 is negative x, then to the power of negative 2, and then negative 6 over negative 3 is 2x to the power of negative 3 plus c. This is evaluate the indefinite integral. The indefinite integral of negative 20x to the power of 3 minus 6x to the power of negative 3 dx. So the first step is using the power rule of integration. So you'll have negative 20x to the power of 3 plus 1, which is 4, and then minus 6x to the power of negative 3 plus 1, which is negative 2, plus c. So negative 20 over 4 is negative 5, then x to the power of 4, and then 6 over 2 is 3, x to the power of negative 2 plus c. Evaluate the indefinite integral. The indefinite integral of 16x to the power of 3 plus 5 minus 6x to the power of negative 3 dx. Using the power rule of integration, we know that 16x to the power of 3 will turn into 16x divided by 4. Then, since 5 is a constant, we add an x, and then negative 6x to the power of negative 3 plus 1, that's a negative 2, plus c. Now 16 over 4 is 4, so 4x plus, to the power of 4, and then 5x stays the same, then 3x to the power of negative 2 plus c. Evaluate the indefinite integral. Indefinite integral of 8x to the power of 3 minus 6x to the power of 2 plus 4x minus 2 dx. As we know, we start with using the power rule of integration. So 8x to the power of 3 plus 1 divided by 4, which is the sum, minus 6x to the power of 2 plus 1, divide the whole thing by 3, then plus 4x, 1 plus 1 is 2, so divide the whole thing by 2, then minus 2x plus c. 8 over 4 is 2, and then x to the power of 4, and then negative 6 over 3 is negative 2, so x to the power of 3, then 4 over 2 is 2x, then minus 2x plus c. The indefinite integral of negative 24x to the power of 5 minus 10x dx. We know to start with the power of integration, so negative 24x to the power of 5 plus 1, that's a 6, and then minus 10x, 1 plus 1, that's a 2, plus c. Then negative 24 divided by 6 is negative 4, then x to the power of 6, and then negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5, x to the power of 2 plus c.
Integrate. So if the first term of the equation is an x power, so we can use the power rule. And all that says if your power is not minus 1, it is any of the power, the integral is instead of x to the third, it is x to the fourth over 4. Over 4, and we can keep the subtraction half
So
here
2x
because
to
of
the
the
power
sum
of 2
and different rules.
over 2.
This term also has an x power, but it also has 6 multiplied out front. Anytime you have a constant multiplied out front, you can keep constant and then integrate the rest. So we can keep the 6 and then integrate x squared with the power rule. So instead of x squared, it is going to be x to the third over 3. And what about x? There is this limit, implied one or in understood power of the one. If we use the power rule of x over 1, it becomes x squared over 2. So x squared over 2. Anytime you have just a constant, the integrate of that will just be the number times x. So the integral of 1 is 1 times x or just x. So it will be 1x plus c. So we put this plus c as a placeholder, and it is represents all possible antiderivatives. This is the final answer.